Home Show.
Johnny from Seattle, Washington has a moisture issue.
Go figure. He's been
No, it is
Seattle.
wet there. I mean, it's
true.
super wet.
And he's been dealing with this one for a while, Tom. Johnny writes, moisture is accumulating in our fully remodeled duplex. He says, I have fans and a dehumidifier, but the moisture still gathers along the perimeter of the living room ceiling. He sends us a picture here. You can see what he's talking about, how it's just, I mean, look at it. It's dripping on the ceiling and everything. It's bad. Anyway, outside, water accumulates. Now, hey, listen, here's a clue. Outside, water accumulates on the same side of the property, but not where it could flow inside the home. I'm building a drain to help the water on the side of the house to get out of there, but the house sits on a flat. And he's wondering, could the foundation be part of the issue with this problem, Tom?
I think there's a lot of problem there, but I think he has to start eliminating it one step at a time. And if water is settling against the house, that's step one. We got to move the water away all the time. To me, that picture looked like it was the ceiling. So if it is, it seems to me that it would be a roof leak too, maybe. And I would definitely take a look at that if that's a roofed structure. And I'm sure it is. So it
right here?
Yeah. What is that? It's above a shower curtain or a curtain.
Well, yeah, it looks like a yeah, I mean, he said it was the living room. I don't my shower's not in the living room.
Well, I see the curtain rod there.
I'm not judging. But I'm just saying.
And that is a bathroom exhaust fan.
Yeah, it sure is. That's why I was talking about the living room. He sent this in. I was thinking, did you coordinate with this picture? But even so, I mean, and
no,
I don't know about you, even in my shower, I don't get water buildup like that.
No, I suspect that there's a leak somewhere in there. And it just happens to be over the shower, which might be a good thing while it collects the water. But I don't think it has anything to do with the ground, but I still want you to get water away from the ground. But that seems to be a roof leak of some kind or something going on there. That's way more than just a steamy shower unless somebody's really showering away and there's something else going on in there. So I would get up there above that area and find out what is causing all that water, because that's a lot of water. And that's a fan and it's got a penetration there, so it's going to go to that side, but you still want to find out that's coming all the way through that sheetrock.
So it's just coincidence that he's got the water on that side of the house. The water gathering on this side of the house wouldn't cause to be building up on the ceiling in the house. If it's a roof as opposed to a foundation, the foundation's not going to make water show up above a ceiling. So it's we talked about the water. We talked about the fourth grade water cycle earlier. Condensation evaporation. I don't think this applies here. I think you're exactly right.
No, I think he has one problem which he needs to solve, but I don't think it has anything to do with this one. But in Seattle, maybe it's a basement. And the water's building up next to the basement. Now, I can go down that road, and if that's the case, then yeah, you have a drainage issue right there. But either way, it's a ceiling that's taking water, and you got to find out why. But any water against a house will cause problems, but it won't migrate from the floor to the ceiling. No.
Yeah, is it possible? Okay, here's one. Let me throw this at you. Is it possible that his air conditioner isn't taking humidity out? Or
not to that extent, no. Okay. And he also said he's running dehumidifiers and stuff. That's not the answer to a breach in your building. And so if we had more pictures and stuff, it's fine. I just deducted that was a shower curtain, believe it or not, and that was a bathroom fan that was above it. So it is
pretty clearly.
And quite frankly, it's a bathtub shower. I can tell that too. I don't know why. It's all those years of experience. But the fact of the matter is that dehumidifiers, air conditioners, heaters, this is not that kind of problem. This building is taking water, and I suspect it's a breach in the building envelope, which means walls, roof, ceiling, somewhere water is coming in.
And Johnny, don't feel special here when we say this to you, but many times people will get a big remodeling job and then they wonder why they have a roof leak or something like that. And so it happens. I mean, it could be a bad flashing detail up there. It could be, who knows what it is. It could be bad flashing on a window somewhere that's allowing water to come in and it's going in. And that's just, maybe the house, Tom, is a little off, just enough off level that it's gathering, and that's where it's accumulating, and that's where he's seeing it.
It's not supposed to. Yeah, water will run to a low spot. But there's also a difference where you live. Seattle, Oregon, Washington, Oregon, There's two places in the country that have the harshest environments for building materials. One is the Gulf Coast, where we live in the Houston area. The other is Seattle down towards Oregon and Portland, because of so much rain. It really does take a beating on buildings, where if you had the same building with the same roof leak in Phoenix, Arizona, nobody would really care that much. It never rains down there. When it does, they say, "Oh, get a bucket," and they're done with it for another 2 years. So it has a lot to do with where you are. But the reason I know that is because the Hardy Siding Corporation, they have specialty paints and coatings and stuff for those two different climates. And that's why their product is so popular in both those areas of the country, is because it really holds up well to that wet, goopy, nasty weather.
I know the top of Mount Washington in New Hampshire's pretty wild weather too. You left
When
that
you get
one
up into
out.
Maine, it's pretty gross, but that's groundwater.
No, I
Soaks
was
in
talking
those
about rough
basements.
weather. You know, okay.
Oh,
All
rough.
right.
Well, yeah. Well, no. Who lives on the top of Mount Washington?
A bunch of engineers. They're
Okay, that goes figure.
There you go. I grew up in them parts. So anyway.
I understand.
Yeah. Good old Marty Engstrom. Anybody who grew up in New England will remember Marty Engstrom doing the weather at the top of Mount Washington. All right.
okay.
Now, if you'd like to send us some questions, by golly, you can go visit HomeShowRadio.com. Click over there on that Ask Tom blue button, and then you'll be faced with this screen where you can either send us a video or you can send us a written question or pictures. Either way, what we'll do is we'll turn them into a video just like this, and we'll post it at HomeShowRadio.com. We do a new one every day, and we'll put them on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. We appreciate it, by the way, on YouTube if you give us a thumbs up when you're watching those videos.